Good morning, students. In our previous video, we have learned about introduction of whole numbers, natural numbers, what is successor, what is predecessor, how we can add the subtract numbers on number line. Now we will learn here properties of whole numbers. There are four properties of whole numbers. First property is closure property. Second property is commutative property. Third one is associative property. And fourth and last one is distributive property. So firstly, we will discuss about the closure property. We will start with closure property for addition. Here we will take two numbers. Suppose first number is 16 and second number is 33. You can see that both numbers are whole numbers. When we will add these two numbers, we will get the answer 49, and 49 is also a whole number. Second example we can take, suppose we have taken two numbers 5 and 9. 5 and 9 both are whole numbers. When we will add both numbers 5 and 9, we will get 14, and 14 is also a whole number. After addition, now closure property for subtraction. Here we will take two numbers 46 and 33. When we will subtract these numbers, we will get answer 13. You can see that 46 and 33 both are whole numbers, and the result is 13, and 13 is also a whole number. Now we will take one more example. Suppose we have taken two numbers 22 and 74. When we will subtract it, we will get minus 52. But minus, negative integers are not whole numbers. So we can say that the subtraction of two whole numbers is not always a whole number. Closure property for multiplication. Here we have taken two numbers 6 and 3. 6 and 3 both are whole numbers, and the product of these two numbers is 18. Or we can say that the product of two whole numbers is always a whole number. After multiplication, closure property for division. Here are two numbers 16 and 2. 16 and 2 both are whole numbers. When we will divide 16 by 2, the result is 8. 8 is a whole number. But when we will divide 2 by 16, then the result will be 1 by 8. And here 1 by 8 is not a whole number. So the division of two whole numbers is not always a whole number. Students, as we know all that whole numbers are positive numbers, including 0 without any decimal or fractional parts. Here 1 by 8 is a fractional part. So 1 by 8 is not a whole number. After closure property, second property is commutative property. Commutative property for addition. Here, let A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 4. When we will add these two numbers A plus B, we will get the result 7. But when we will interchange the numbers, means B plus A, of 4 plus 3, we will get the same result. So we can say that when we add two whole numbers in any order, we get the same result. After addition, commutative property for subtraction. Let A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 2. When we will subtract 2 from 8, the result will be 6. But when we will subtract 8 from 2, the result will be different. The result will be negative integer minus 6. You can see here the difference. 6 is a positive integer and minus 6 is a negative integer. 6 is a whole number, but minus 6 is not a whole number. So left hand side is not equal to right hand side. So we can say that when we subtract two whole numbers in any order, it is not necessary that the result will be same. After subtraction, now commutative property for multiplication. Let A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 2. The product of 8 and 2 will be 16. And when we will interchange the digits, means B will come first and after B, A will come. Then 2 multiplied by 8. When we will multiply 2 and 8, the result will be same. So we can say that when we multiply two whole numbers in any order, we get the same result. After multiplication, commutative property for division. Let A is equal to 8 and B is equal to 2. When we will divide 8 by 2, then result will be 4. But when we will divide 2 by 8, the result will be different. The result is 1 by 4 here. You can compare these two numbers. 4 is a whole number, but 1 by 4 is not a whole number. It is a fractional part. So, according to the property, when we divide two whole numbers in any order, we don't get the same result. We get the same result for addition and multiplication only. For subtraction and division, we will not get the same result. Now, third property is associative property. Associative property for addition. Here we will take three numbers. Let A is equal to 3, B is equal to 4 and C is equal to 5. First we will keep two numbers together, A and B. Means 3 plus 4 we will keep in brackets and 5 will remain alone. Here, after adding two numbers which are in bracket, 3 plus 4 will be 7. When we will add 7 with 5, we will get the answer 12. On the same way, right hand side, when we will change the brackets, instead of A and B, we will keep the numbers B and C in bracket. So, when we will add 4 and 5, the result will be 9. When we will add 9 with 3, the result will be 12. So, left hand side is equal to right hand side. After addition, associative property for multiplication. Here we have taken three numbers. Let A is equal to 3, B is equal to 4 and C is equal to 5. In left hand side, we have taken first two numbers together and third number is alone. Here, when we will multiply 3 by 4, the result will be 12. And after getting the result, we will multiply 12 by 5. So, result is here 60. So, left hand side 60. Now, right hand side. We have taken last two numbers together. So that 4 multiplied by 5 will be 20. And when we will multiply 20 by 3, we will get the result 60. Here left hand side is equal to right hand side. In both ways, the result will remain same. Children, here are two questions. In first question, we have to evaluate, means we have to add odd numbers. 4 numbers are given here. Students, we have to arrange numbers. What we have to do first? We have to arrange numbers. We will add those numbers together which give result of multiple of 10. Okay students, I am repeating it. We will add those numbers together which give result of multiple of 10. If we will arrange the numbers like this, then it will help us to make our calculations easier. If you will not arrange numbers like this, then our calculation will be difficult as well as more time taking. So students, I have taken two numbers so that the result will be the multiple of 10. So when we will add 175 and 25, the result will be 200. So the 200, it is a multiple of 10, and other two numbers we have taken 77 plus 23. When we will add these two numbers, the result is 100. So 200 plus 100 is equal to 300. So students, it is very easy to calculate. Here in first question we have applied associative property for addition. In question number second we will apply associative property for multiplication. So we will take those numbers together which give result of multiple of 10. So we have taken 250 and 8. When we will multiply these two numbers, the result will be 2000, and 2000 is a multiple of 10. And the second pair we have taken 25 and 40. The product of 25 and 40 is 1000. When we will multiply 2000 and 1000, the result will be 20 lakh. Students, to make our calculations easier, we have to find the numbers which result is a multiple of 10. If we will take the numbers given in the question number 2 like 250 and 25, if we multiply these two numbers, the result will not be the multiple of 10. The last property is distributive property. Here distributive property of multiplication over addition, where A, B and C are whole numbers. So what we have to do, we have to take two numbers together and we will multiply these two numbers with the number which is alone here. Then after multiplying it, we will get AB plus AC. Students, here we have to find total number of squares. According to the first method, we can directly multiply the numbers to get the result. So 5 multiplied by 7 is equal to 35. If the numbers are bigger, then we will use distributive property to make our calculations easier. So how we can apply distributive property? Let's learn. Here the numbers are 5 and 7. What we will do? We will divide one of the number. We have divided 7 here in two numbers, 4 and 3. Or you can divide number in 2 and 5 or 1 and 6 also, because 2 and 5 result is also 7. Now 5 will remain as it is and 7 we have divided, so it will be 4 plus 3. After completing this step, we will multiply 5 with 4 and 3 both. After multiplying it, we will add the result, means 20 plus 15. Then we will get the answer 35, means total number of squares 35. You can see that in first method and second method both numbers are same. But for bigger numbers, this distributive property will help you to make your calculations easier. Let's take an example. Here two numbers are given, 72 and 11. What we will do, we will take the smaller number. Smaller number is 11. We have to break this number, means any two numbers in which the one number should be multiple of 10. So when we will divide 11 in two numbers, we can break the number in 10 and 11. So 72 and 10 plus 1, means 72 multiplied in bracket 10 plus 1. According to distributive property, we will multiply 72 with 10 and 1 both. After multiplying it, we will add the result, means 720 plus 72. So answer will be 792. Let's take another example. Here in this question you can see 445 is common. So we will take out 445 and keep 25 and 75 in brackets. After completing it, we will write 445 as it is and add these two numbers 25 and 75. The result will be 100. And after multiplying 445 by 100, we will get the result 44,500. It is also an example of distributive property. Now additive identity means a plus 0 is equal to a. Additive identity means a plus 0 is equal to a, where a is an whole number, any whole number, and 0 is called additive identity. Additive identity for the whole numbers. Additive identity says that when we add 0 to a whole number, the sum is the number itself. Suppose 2 plus 0. Suppose let a is equal to 2, and when we will add 0 into, we will get the same result, means 2. If we will add 0 in 5, we will get the same result, means 5. Here are some examples of additive identity. First is 3 plus 0. When we will add 0 with 3, we will get the result 3. Second example, 4 plus 0 is equal to 4. The same like 3 and 4. After additive identity, multiplicative identity. Here a multiply 1 is equal to a, where a is any whole number and 1 is called multiplicative identity for the whole numbers. It means when we will multiply 1 to a whole number, we get the number itself. For example, 5 multiplied by 1 is equal to 5. Means if we will multiply 1 with any whole number, we will get the same whole number. Okay. Here are some examples of multiplicative identity. First example is 3 multiplied by 1 is equal to 3. Here 3 is a whole number and 1 is multiplicative identity. So result is 3. In the second example, 4 is a whole number and 1 is multiplicative identity. And the result is a whole number, the same number. Complete the pattern. You can see here is a pattern. 1 multiply 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. After it we will increase the number, means after 1 it will be 1 2, then 1 2 3, then 1 2 3 4, then 1 2 3 4 5, then last one 1 2 3 4 5 6, and on so on we can do. Now 8 will remain as it is. 8 you can see here in every step. And after then 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, we can increase the number, and the result of first step was 9. After then it will decrease 9 8, then 3 numbers 9 8 7, then 4 numbers 9 8 7 6, then 5 numbers 9 8 7 6 5, then 6 numbers 9 8 7 6 5 4. Or in the next step we can write 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 multiplied by 8 plus 7 is equal to 9 8 7 6 5 4 3. Here is a question: if the product of two whole numbers is 0, can we say that one or both of them will be 0? Justify through examples. Okay, so let's take an example. When we will multiply any number with 0, then we will get the result 0. If we are going to take two numbers, means 0 and 0, then also we will get 0. So it means that when we are going to multiply 0 with any number, then we will get the answer 0. So these were the properties of whole numbers and examples of these properties. Thank you.